Tonight, Washington State University Provost steps down.
Did you get your shot? Flu season is almost here.
Murrow News 8 starts now.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening. I'm Sean O'Connor.
I'm Yudana Lee. Welcome to Murrow News 8. WSU Provost has stepped down to become faculty member. According to WSU Insider, WSU President Kirk Schultz says Ms. Montoya stepping down is in the university's best interest. They said Schultz will announce his plans for appointing a new provost in the coming weeks.
Flu season is just around the corner. Malou Santos is live with how Cougs can protect themselves from the flu. Malou?
Thanks, Sean. So I'm standing outside of the Washington building because starting tomorrow and every Friday until October 26th, Cougar Health Services will be conducting a flu shot Friday clinic. And if you're one of the first 150 students, you get a free thermometer, so sign up. And the CDC recommends that you get your flu shot by the end of October because flu season starts to happen around November, December, and it peaks around February, and you want to get that vaccine in you before that horrible flu season happens. And if you are not busy, or if you're busy during one of the clinics, you can make it online or through phone. And you can make that online at cougarhealthservices.wsu.edu or call 509-533-3575. Again, that's 509-355-3575.
Malou, does Cougar Health Services offer the nasal spray?
No, they don't. It's only the shot, and I was going to do this live shot of me getting the flu shot, but nobody needs to see that shot, so I'm just going to toss it back to you guys.
Thanks, Malou. The city of Pullman is doubling production of housing over the next 10 years to keep up with the university's growing demand. They plan on building 270 units per year. The city of Pullman received a plan proposal during the city council meeting Tuesday night, suggesting that a residential zone be created that is appealing to college students. The city council will convene again next Tuesday.
A WSU student will attend the Forbes 30 on the 30 Young Scholars Summit. According to the Daily Evergreen, Namwin was choosing from 5% of applicants to attend the 4-day summit, where Serena Williams and Kevin Durant will be speaking. They say investors and entrepreneurs will also be at the event.
The WSU College of Medicine makes history by being the first to implement new enhanced CPR curriculum as suggested by the American Heart Association. The new curriculum coming to WSU's Spokane campus prepares students to handle in-hospital cardiac arrests with improved patient outcomes and the mastery of CPR skills for a longer period of time. Founding Dean of the College of Medicine, Dr. John Domkowiak says that, quote, "We are bringing innovative opportunities to students to be on the leading edge of medical education."
If you haven't been to the Pullman Farmers Market recently, you may have seen a cover band that's a bit of the ordinary. Traffic Jam plays covers of popular songs using unique instruments such as the 8-string guitar, melodicas, and perhaps most unusual of all, tip dance. The band prides themselves on their ability to improvise with popular melodies to create something tailored to each member of their audience.
A professor from the WSU School of Medicine is coming up with new ways to reduce drug addiction. Vice Dean of Research John Rule says that giving prizes to individuals who stay off of drugs may be the best option. Rule says giving people money for passing a drug test helps reduce their usage. Rule notes that the problem of addiction is impacted by the people's environment, and this approach may help control that environment of addiction just a little bit better.
Washington State Patrol are looking for witnesses after a man claimed he was shot while driving on I-5 north in Seattle. The victim said a black two-door BMW pulled up to his left and fired a round at his car. The victim continued to drive northbound and exit the freeway. The driver of the BMW followed and pulled in front of the victim's car. The suspect got off his car and fired another round at the victim's vehicle. The suspect then jumped back into his car and fled the scene. If you know anything about the incident, contact Washington State Patrol.
According to Idaho court documents, the University of Idaho professor Denise Bennett, who was fired on September 18th, broke into a friend's camp trailer last week in Lewiston. The document says Bennett stole a cell phone while she was staying in the trailer. Police officers later found a gram of meth in Bennett's room. According to Idaho court documents, Bennett was charged with 2 counts of drug charges and a burglary charge. The status conference hearing in Nez Perce County Court is scheduled on September 30th. The preliminary hearing is scheduled on October 2nd. Seattle Times says U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrested multiple people yesterday in Kitsap County. Immigration advocates say ICE used racial profiling. The Seattle Times says some county officials feel the roundups are negatively affecting the economy in their communities. When we come back, all of the latest in sports news, including an Apple Cup victory for WSU volleyball.
When Murrow News 8 returns.
Welcome back to Murrow News 8. WSU volleyball started Pac-12 play with a win last night. The Cougs took down undefeated number 8 Washington 3-1. Pia Timmer led the offense with 14 kills, while Alex Chirichi cleaned up on the defensive end with 24 digs. The Cougs hit the road for a 3-game road swing, starting in Berkeley Saturday with number 21 Cal. The King will make his final start of the 2019 season tonight. Many believe this will be Felix's last start in a Mariners uniform. Felix has struggled this season, starting only 14 games while pitching to a 1-7 record and a 6.51 ERA. Felix pitched for the M's for 15 seasons, collecting 6 All-Star Game nominations and the 2010 Cy Young Award. Felix Hernandez will pitch against the Oakland Athletics tonight at 7:10. The 5 NL playoff teams are set. The LA Dodgers, Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, Washington Nationals, and the Milwaukee Brewers will play in the postseason this year for the senior circuit. The Dodgers and the Braves have locked down their respective divisions, but the NL Central is still up for grabs. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers are separated by only a game with 3 games to play. And Dish announced today that they dropped Fox from their channel lineup. Dish dropped the Fox broadcast channel, Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2, and the Big Ten Network. This news sent Cougs fans scrambling as this weekend's game against Utah is set to air on FS1. Fox and Dish are undergoing contract negotiations, and talks have turned sour. The Seattle Seahawks re-signed tight end Luke Wilson Wednesday. The team signed the tight end to replace Nick Van Nett, who was shipped to Pittsburgh for a 2020 fifth-round draft pick. Wilson played 5 seasons for Seattle before playing for the Detroit Lions last year. Wilson has appeared in 86 NFL games, catching 102 passes for 1,216 yards and 11 touchdowns. WSU Swim opens their season with a pair of home meets this weekend. The Cougs host San Diego State, Nevada, and Idaho on Friday for a relay meet. Nevada will stick around to swim a dual meet on Saturday. WSU went 4-7 last season, finishing 8th in the Pac-12 championships. And finally, we've all heard the comparisons, but this time the reunion happened in the real world. Gardner Minshew has often been compared to Uncle Rico. Napoleon Dynamite actor John Grease met Minshew at a Jaguars practice, and the resemblance was uncanny. Today's weather is coming up next. Stay tuned to Murrow News 8.
What do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. So as we can see this morning, we had a little bit of rain on the ground. It was a little bit chilly, but it definitely cleared up when it came to this afternoon. We see a high of 65, which is what it's about right now, and a low of 44. Sunset tonight is going to be around 6:38 p.m. Now looking on to tomorrow's forecast. We see it's going to cool off a little bit. It's going to be a high of 62 with a low of 39, but you may want to pack your raincoats tomorrow because we do see a high chance of precipitation. We're going to see sunset at 6:36 p.m. tomorrow. Now, moving on to the state map and see what they're up to. So, on Olympia and Seattle on the west side of the state, we're seeing somewhat the same temperatures around this side with those high 60s, low 50s, high 40s. Going into the middle of the state, we have Yakima and Tri-Cities, with Tri-Cities actually having a high of 81 today, so they definitely got some nice weather, some sun breaks through those mostly cloudy skies. Like we said earlier with Pullman and Spokane, we got that high of 78 in those low 40 ranges. Moving on to the 5-day forecast, we talked about today and tomorrow, but when it comes to Saturday, as you can see here, the high is 44. Now today, that chilly morning we had, 44 was actually our low, and the high of 44 on Saturday means it's definitely going to get a lot cooler, and with all those showers we have, we're possibly looking at some snow, as you see with that low of 35 and then 32 coming to Sunday. So for the rest of the week, it's going to be, we're going to see some showers, and then Monday it's finally going to clear up with some partly cloudy skies. Back to you, folks.
When we come back, learn how McDonald's and Alexia are teaming up.
Stick around for more Murrow News 8.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Thank you for watching Murrow News 8.
Have a good night.